Look, man, I can never hate Julius Malema. I don't think there's anyone, even his greatest opposition, his greatest rivalries, his greatest haters, they can never convince me to hate Julius Malema. You know why? Because this man has honor. This man follows principles. I've never seen a politician who has honor like Julius Malema in South Africa. This guy, he doesn't lie. He will tell you the truth, even when it doesn't favor him, even when the truth is gonna be against how people perceive him, but he will still tell it because he's a man of honor. He's a man who has integrity. And I like something he exposed about this whole thing of Dali Mpofu formulating the MK party, working with the MK party. But I want you to listen to something so I can tell you a secret too.
You know what I like about Dali is that there was a meeting of the opposition parties which was called by Zuma. And I said, I'm not going. So I asked Floyd and Marshall to attend the SG. They went and Dali was there. Dali went to make a presentation of a paper in that first meeting where he said the EFF must close down with the other parties and then form something under Zuma's leadership. I mean, things happen the way they happen. I mean, Floyd and Marshall, you know him, he's just there and he speaks when it is necessary. But Floyd is the one who was leading the discussion. Who said, no ways, it's not going to happen, and all of that. And then he comes back extremely shocked that Dali is not only proposing it, he has written it down. He has had time to think about it and wrote it down. So I said, no. So then we agreed that we must meet, all parties must go consult their leadership, blah, blah. What is our position? I said, but that's madness. We can't do that. We closed the EFF to Zuma. Not 1 year. It was not even formed at that time. To what? Like, to do what? I don't understand that. Then perhaps Dali realizes they are not doing a good job. He comes himself to me when they were all there as the officials in the 5th floor. He says, no, he wants to see me. I said, no, sharp, come. But I knew what he was going to tell me. So I brought Floyd and I brought Marshall into the meeting. And then he said that. He says, so I told him, no, it's not going to happen. I don't agree with that. And there's no EFF that is going to close shop. In his skillful way, you know, he said, okay, plus we are late now in the elections. Maybe after the elections, we can engage about it again. I said, no problem. And then, again, Floyd and Marshall went back to the meeting to give their party structures a position. They came back and said to me, the president of ATM, Zungula, said, of all of us here, parties, the only party with a national footprint, which is properly established with machinery, is the EFF. Let's collapse this thing. Let's collapse all of us into the EFF. All of I was in that meeting. That president of the PAC was there. I don't know if Carl Neos was there or what. They were all there. I still refuse. I said, I'm not going. I'm not part. I don't agree with that. And then that's what they said. Zungula is the one who said, actually, the EFF is the way. Then Zuma responded and said, no. Can you imagine an old person voting for EFF? These old people will never agree to vote for the EFF. And he told them the footprint of how if we come together, we're going to get the votes from where and all of that. And then after the second meeting, we came back. Then they said, no, Zuma wants to see me. 4 eyes. I said, no problem, I'll go. Dali says he's going to come, but I already know what Dali is up to. So I bring Vuyani. I said, Vuyani, let's go together. No, when we entered the meeting, President Zuma asked me to stay in the meeting with him. And then Dali and some other chubby guy, I can't remember what was his name, but he came from President Zuma's side. And Vuyan asked them to excuse us so that we can have a discussion. So I remained with President Zuma. He started making that presentation and all of that. But Floyd told me that in the first meeting, Zuma addressed them for 3 hours. In the second meeting, it was relatively better. He addressed them for 2 hours. So I said, how do you allow that? They say, hey, we're thinking maybe General will stop him or something. Hey, but we sit there and just listen. I said, no problem. So when they said he wants to see me, 10, 15 minutes into the discussion, I interjected him because I was, at the back of my mind was like, you're not going to address me for 2 hours. It's not going to happen. Not 3 hours. I said, no, Baba, but I was thinking, you endorse the EFF. And then after endorsing the EFF, we'll have a proper discussion because we are now late, just on the eve of the elections. And then we can talk about what are the issues that you want us to take up in the immediate and all of that. And then he said, well, it's too late because I'm launching a party on the 16th of December. And I think we're like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before that. Hard luck. But let's take up this discussion after the elections. The meeting ended. If it took long, it's 20 minutes. We're done. And then we opened the door for those guys to come back. They were all like, so quick. I was like, no, we know what we want. Because it was not going to happen.
How you hear it, right? And I'm sure you have heard this clip from other YouTubers, or you have watched it from the EFF Twitter account, because that's where it's been released. The EFF Twitter account, apparently this is just a short clip of the long conversation that is going to destroy a lot of things and change the perspective of the politics of South Africa, and it's yet to be released a few weeks before at the MPA of the EFF. But according to this, you are hearing this man, what he's saying. He's not shying away from the fact that he knew Dali Mpofu was playing, was double packing, was playing both sides. But for the integrity, for just the sake of projecting a unity, a unified EFF, he was going along with the flow. But he knew this one is backstabbing. He knew Lona Agatembegi. He knew things like that, you know. And it makes me wonder, now with everything that is saying, trying to portray, trying to project about Ndlozi, what is it that this man knows about Mbuyiseni Ndlozi that we don't know? But I'll speak about that another time. But there must be something he knows about Mbuyiseni Ndlozi that we don't know. For everything that he's doing, trying to not push this narrative that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi should be the next deputy president, he must know something that we don't know. And one day, you know the truth, ne? The truth, you can never run away from the truth. One day, the truth shall come out. They thought they are bringing this thing as a secret about Floyd Shivambu, about Dali Mpofu. They thought they are playing scientific politics. But look now what has been exposed. Look now what we are getting to find out. Look now what we are finding out about this whole thing of formation of MK party. Floyd Shivambu was the one who was sent to go to the meetings. Clearly he was convinced by what President Jacob Zuma was saying. You can't fault him on that. He made his own bed. He must live in his own bed. But we're finding out things that nobody would have found out if we're busy trying to move with political scientific politics of being respectful, trying to hide information and be secretive. You can't keep secret with the CIC Julius Malema. It's going to expose things that you don't want to be known, and we're going to know them. Look now what we find out. Look now what we know. But it is what it is. I can't say much. I was not there. Thank you very much.